$144 million to settle that Dominion lawsuit.
Oh, that was with the Dominion company. What happened with that? Like,
they gave him money, but part of it, they say it wasn't part of it, but we're learning that Tucker getting fired was part of that.
Tucker getting fired was part of the Dominion lawsuit?
It was part of the settlement. Yeah, he was ousted. When it's corporate media and you're beholden to advertisers, right?
Well, it's either the Pillow Guy or it's brought to you by Pfizer, right? It's like,
it's big pharma.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like we would do all this stuff about COVID vaccines, and we're getting money from Pfizer.
We're getting what?
And we're getting money from Pfizer.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
big pharma, big tech.
You know, you're talking about like the shady players, like your buddy Michael Rosa, like
that. He's the one who's crafting Dominion's message. That's a whole story in and of itself.
OMG News has obtained incendiary footage of a Fox News producer talking about Tucker Carlson's departure, the Dominion settlement, and the influence that advertisers and pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer have over the embattled network.
Fox News Media, America's news, and much more.
$144 million to settle that Dominion lawsuit.
Oh, that was with the Dominion company. Yeah. How did what happened with that? Like,
they gave him money, but part of it, they say it wasn't part of it, but we're learning that Tucker getting fired was part of that.
Tucker getting fired was part of the Dominion lawsuit?
It was part of the settlement.
Well, so did Tucker leave, or did you guys part ways, or Tucker was ousted?
Yeah, he was ousted. Well, he brought up things that cost him a lot of money.
Cost the company a lot of money?
Yeah, and that was part of it. Like, he was going to go after this whole thing about January 6th was, it was an inside job. He went after this guy, Reyes, who he said was an FBI agent on the inside.
Right.
Encouraged it. And he was going to go on the air and mention what that guy said on 60 Minutes. And the Murdochs were like, you know, not going to happen. The other thing with Tucker that is interesting is everyone's like, oh, you are losing so many viewers and money. I'm like, well, actually, there are a bunch of advertisers that said we're not going to advertise that 8 o'clock hour. So now that he's gone, they're starting to come back.
Sean, a Fox News insider, says that not only Tucker's reporting on January 6th cost the network a lot of money and made the Murdochs unhappy, but Sean goes on to talk about the pressures of advertising and the influence of big pharma on the embattled network.
Yeah, it's big pharma.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like we would do all this stuff about COVID vaccines, and we're getting money from Pfizer.
We're getting what?
When you say that we take money from Pfizer, what did you mean by that?
I never said we took money from Pfizer. I think you're putting words in my mouth.
You said, quote,
and we're getting money from Pfizer.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
big pharma, big tech.
Dude, you're describing to me like the nature of the narratives, right? Like, we have BlackRock and Vanguard who own everybody, right? They own CNN, MSNBC, Fox, you name it. That's what I was talking about, the self-censorship narrative.
Corporate media interests. When it's corporate media and you're beholden to advertisers.
BlackRock and Vanguard are in your ear. They're like, you can only say up until this point of what the truth is, and then you have to start pushing propaganda.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Pfizer.
Yeah, it's across the board kind of like that, where you don't want to piss off advertisers.
Sean also told us about his buddy Mike LaRosa, who according to his Twitter account was the press secretary for Jill Biden. Michael LaRosa is now working for a PR company called Penta, whose primary client happens to be Dominion Voting. Sean says that no one has put this together. Well, we're certainly glad that Sean put it together for OMG and all of you.
You look at those little connects and you're like, someone who worked for the Biden White House was literally crafting the message for Dominion. So you're like, of course. So he left working for Joe Biden to start this PR firm or work with this firm whose sole client was Dominion, doing their comp. It's like right from the White House to go defend Dominion. So it's like, when you know those little moving parts, you're like, everyone's shitty.
Well, so
left the White House to literally go take down the news outlet that was being unfavorable to his boss. No one's talking about that.
you know, you're talking about like the shady players, like your buddy Michael Rosa. Like, what is, you know, like it's kind of public out there that he's like at this Penta group. He worked for Joe Biden.
No one's put it together.
You said he was pulling the strings. What did you exactly mean by that? You know, like with
that he's the one who's crafting Dominion's message to the public. That he's running their
to who?
To the media.
To the media.
But no one's picking up on the fact that here's someone who used to work for Joe Biden.
Joe or Joe or both? Technically.
Worked in the administration.
Worked in the administration.
Going after a voting company. Working with a voting company to take down Fox's segment. That's a whole story in and of itself.
I also spoke to Sean myself on the phone while I was filmed, the undercover journalist recording in Washington, D.C., while I was recording back here at headquarters, and you can see Sean's reaction for yourself.
Hey, Sean.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, Sean. Hey, this is James O'Keefe, OMG. We'd like your comment on some of the things that you said.
Yeah, I was with him the Thursday before he was fired, and we were talking about him having lunch and such with the Murdochs.
He spoke to me. It was very cordial. However, the public has a right to know this information. It involves advertising. It involves the Fourth Estate. It involves how we get our information in society.
Well, I promise you that you said these words, and in terms of the context.
But do I work in advertising here? No.
Okay.
So just talk to somebody who doesn't know necessarily the full picture here, okay?
So you want me to tell my audience that you don't work in advertising?
Yeah, I don't.
Go to our website, fill out our form. We will ship a camera to you, and you too can sit across the table at a restaurant from a subject and record them. We need more people recording. And listen again to that voice of the undercover journalist. Yes, do you recognize that? It's the same voice of the individual who recorded Tristan Walker at Pfizer.